Thank you for the opportunity to at least have this presentation. And my presentation is connected with the investments in the human capital as a base of sustainable development, and mostly connected with the forest sector enterprises in Russian Federation. First, some problems. I have some problems. Okay. First, what is sustainable development? It can consist of three parts. It's social, economic, and environmental. And now I will speak about this economical part from the point of view of the enterprise. And in sustainability of development of enterprise, we understand active industrial policy connected with the more efficient using of resources that have this enterprise. I will speak about the investigation that we have conducted about the enterprises in Russian Federation. And I will compare the result that was received by the Russian Association of Management in the frame of the investment in capital, human capital, and about forest sector. And you can see that sometimes we have received quite different results. We used the method that was connected with the interviews with the people who are working in these enterprises. They were COO and the leaders of the human departments. And Russian Association of Management, they used also enterprises from different branches of industry. And there was 50 enterprises in our investigation, and they mostly from the northern part of Russian Federation. What questions and what were the aims of the investigation? There were several questions that we tried to answer. First, what was the aim of the human resources development in the enterprises? Then, what was the main directions of investments in human resources development? Then, what is the share of companies who implemented innovational approach in human resources management? What is the focus of training programs in companies, and how companies motivate employees to implement their knowledge in the company, and what activities are organized in the frame of this? Let's see what we received in the frame of these 5 questions in comparison with the Russian Federation of Management. First question is the main aim of human resources development, and it's a very principal question because if there is no any aim of development of human resources, and when enterprise see in human resources only costs, then everything that I will speak later, we can't speak. It is impossible. What we have received. On the left side, you can see all enterprises, it's the results of the investigation by the Russian Federation of Management. And we see that 92% has a strategy for human resources development. In forest enterprises, it was less. It is about 70% of enterprises, and it is necessary to stress that, of course, this strategy is connected more with the medium-sized enterprises or large enterprises. The aims of human resources development are the same, and they are connected with the increasing of motivation of the human resources of personnel who is working, then creation conditions for the better realization of employee potential, and of course effectiveness of personnel. There you can see that the results are the same when we speak about the aims. Then, when we are speaking about the companies who have aims in human resources development, what they are focused on. First, of course, they are focused on personal intake and retention. And then it is very interesting to understand that in reality, it is not only we who are speaking, we scientists and those who are working with statistical figures who are speaking about this intellectual capital development, that in reality, enterprise, they are also focused on intellectual capital development. Then, what are the main directions of investment in human resources development? It is, when we are speaking about all enterprises, it is the first place, it is continuous training. And then there are also two things that we can find also in this investigation. It's creation of informational systems that allow to exchange knowledge between different departments, and also creation of databases and the cadre reserve. If we speak about forest sector enterprises, then the main direction is only continuous training. And it is necessary also to stress that when we're speaking about SME, then not all they invest money in human resources development, even in continuous training, and their tendency in Russian Federation forest sector is practically the same as it was 10 years ago, that the investments are given only to the categories of personnel with whom the enterprises have may have some risks and in their financial development. And as it was 10 years ago, it was accountants, and now it's the same. What is the share of companies which implemented innovational approach in human resources management? In all enterprises in the Russian Federation of Management, it is 81% of enterprises, and innovational approaches such as rotation of personnel, cadre reserve, talent management, corporate universities, and so on. And in forest sector, it is only big companies, large companies, especially with foreign participation, this is implemented. It is very interesting, the result that we have received. What is the focus of training programs in companies? The biggest part is connected with the programs that are connected with the short-term knowledge. And the smallest is programs that are oriented on the long-term knowledge that will be needed in accordance with the strategical development of the enterprises. It is results for the all enterprises, and it is focus for the forest sector enterprises. So you can see that in forest sector, they are, from this point of view, they are living with the nowadays situation, and they try to solve this situation in the frame of their personal development. Then how companies motivate employees to implement their knowledge in the company. 86% of companies include into investigation has some motivational system for implementation of these new ideas. And 76 of the companies motivate for active participation in knowledge exchange. And main focus on motivation for innovations. Again, when we are looking on the forest sector, we can see that forest sector enterprises, they have passive innovational policy nowadays, and it also shows showed this investigation. and only several enterprises from 50 that we have, they have such a motivational system for new ideas that personnel can give and that can improve the situation in the enterprise. It is about the structure of the motivation that is used in the companies, material or non-material motivation in all enterprises, and this is motivation of the forest sector. And which initiatives were implemented in the companies to intensify the knowledge exchange process. When we are speaking about all enterprises, it is 73% of companies, they implemented innovations in knowledge exchange process, and 77 of companies organize special activities to prevent losing of knowledge if specialists will leave company. Because there is a big problem nowadays in Russia Federation when a company invests money in a person, and when he is leaving after these investments, company is losing money and is losing knowledge. And that's why this is a very important thing that we have investigated. And what innovations in knowledge exchange process were used in the companies? It's some kind of internal blogs, forums, libraries, then organization of professional communities, and very interesting things, tendencies that have occurred. It is some kind of external experts that are finding and involvement also people who are retired nowadays to be an experts in the training process. How to prevent this knowledge losing in the company? 77% of companies organize special activities to prevent losing of knowledge if specialists will leave company, and their activities can be divided into two parts. First, it is aimed at transfer knowledge from a person to all organization to make such situation that a person will not be the only who knows something. It should be knowledge shared with the company. And also the other part aimed at the transfer knowledge from person to person. It's also the second part. So what will be the resumes? First, you can see also from these figures that I have given very shortly that enterprises of forest sector, as all enterprises in Russia, they understand that nowadays effective human resources management is a base to sustainable development. They invest money in human resources development, but the amount of this investment is not so big, and if we are speaking about this investment policy in human resources development, it is also as innovational policy, it is also passive, not so active. It can be said due to the fact that amount of these investments they are not so big, and they are depending on the scale of the company, and only big scale company they have very structured this policy of the investment of the personnel. So thank you for your attention.